Welcome to our 4 to 5. We will get to your top news headlines in just a minute, but first, we need to talk about possible storms moving across the Triad.
Right now, we got a live look at our radar and our Burlington sky cam. Things aren't too bad right now. Some areas, though, could see severe weather later on.
Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley is here following the system. Tim, when can we expect this all to arrive?
Yeah, it's a tricky day, guys. You know, the good news is that most of us aren't going to see any storms at all. I think in our whole area, we might only end up having about 1, 2, or 3 thunderstorms, period, all the way through midnight. So it's going to be very few and far between. One thing all of us are seeing is our hottest day of the year so far. Temperatures are close to 90 in many areas, upper 80s for almost all of us, and there's a bit more humidity too. Now, so far, we look at the radar, everything pretty much quiet. We have a little sprinkle tracking right there through High Point and just north of south of Kernersville, I should say. This has been a storm that we've been tracking up near Danville, Virginia. Now it's moved just along the Caswell County border. Nothing severe, it's just a whole lot of rain, a good amount of lightning as well. But here's kind of what we'll be keeping an eye on through about midnight tonight. As we look up to our west, you see this line of showers and storms in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. There's a bit of a boundary here, and it might be able to touch off a couple of storms every now and again. Now, the risk of severe weather is not that high. We're only at a level 1 out of a 5. We were a 2 earlier, and they lowered it for our area. And you can see why. Futurecast just doesn't pop much for us. Only a couple storms on radar just like that, and they might not even be all that strong. So bottom line, we're kind of ready, we're on guard, we're watching. Because it's so hot and humid, any storm that would form today, it could produce some hail or damaging winds. But most of us will stay dry, and same idea for tomorrow. But get ready, it's going to be our hottest day in quite a while. I expect us to be in the mid-90s for Friday. That's our hottest weather since last summer. You have to go all the way back into August. Now, with today's storms, you're going to want to keep our free WFMI News 2 app close at hand. It's so easy to download. You can get it in the App Store or on Google Play. Of course, we have the latest weather updates all the time. We put the info in, not a computer.
I know parents all across the country are worried about finding enough infant formula to feed their babies. As a parent and as a grandparent, I know just how stressful that is.
You are taking a live look at the White House, where efforts to combat the nationwide baby formula shortage are ramping up. Today, lawmakers questioned FDA Commissioner Robert Califf about empty shelves and how inventory levels got so low. They also pressed him about the safety of reopening the baby formula manufacturing plant that closed down in Michigan.
We need to make sure this plant is safe to open, but it's hard to see any evidence that FDA has made it a priority to get this plant cleaned and cleared and back online.
It makes me question which side the FDA is on. Are they on the side of Abbott and industry, or on the side of the American consumer?
The hearing comes as President Biden announced he's invoking the Defense Production Act to boost domestic supplies. He is also launching Operation Fly Formula to import more product from overseas to speed up the delivery. If you or someone you know needs help finding formula, you can go to hhs.gov/babyformula.
Right now, American families are turning to Amazon in desperate need of formula. Some even say if you change your Amazon location to Canada, you can find more supplies. Is that the right move, and is it safe? Let's verify.
A tip from a Twitter user claims changing your location on Amazon from the United States to Canada will allow you to order formula. So let's verify. Will Amazon Canada ship baby formula orders to U.S. parents? Our sources are Amazon, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and Dr. Jennifer Lightdale, pediatric gastroenterologist at UMass Memorial Children's Medical Center and a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics. According to Amazon, customers can't purchase baby formula products from the company's Canada-based website if they're sold and or shipped by Amazon. So Verify tested the social media claim by trying to purchase a baby formula product that was sold and shipped by Amazon through Amazon.ca. We tried to ship it to an address in Washington State, but it didn't work. We received an error message stating that the item could not be shipped to the selected address. There is a loophole though. Third-party sellers whose items aren't fulfilled by Amazon can ship the order directly to you. But medical experts caution parents against buying formulas internationally at all. Pediatric gastroenterologist Dr. Jennifer Lightdale warns parents that, quote, the formula that you're buying from overseas is just not regulated the way we're used to formula being regulated here in the United States, unquote. In addition to concerns about less stringent regulations overseas, the American Academy of Pediatrics has also expressed concerns that imported formulas may not be shipped or stored correctly. So we can verify, no, Amazon Canada will not ship baby formula orders to U.S. parents.
The Better Business Bureau is also issuing formula scam warnings. Experts say there's a lot of social media scams going around. They say you might get a message from someone saying they have formula. The person then asks you to pay them through PayPal or Venmo, but the formula is never sent and you're out of formula and money. You should check out any potential seller on the BBB website to make sure it's legit.
The baby shortage is getting a lot of buzz online, and almost everyone has an opinion. Mom shaming. It's when people criticize a mother for making parenting choices that differ from the choices they have made or would make themselves. Throughout this nationwide baby formula shortage, time and time again, we've seen responses like this on social media, discrediting the struggle a lot of parents are facing right now, saying they should breastfeed instead. Quite simply, that's not an option for everyone, and bullying a mom about it just isn't cool. Tori Johnson is a licensed clinical mental health counselor. As a mother who could not breastfeed, she knows the importance of baby formula. She says a lack of understanding about breastfeeding can be harmful and hurtful to others.
First thing is we have to consider same-sex couples, right? There's a lot of dads that's raising their children. There's a lot of single fathers that's raising their children. So when you say just breastfeed, well, what do they do? What are their options, right? There's grandparents raising grandchildren, women who are prescribed medications who, for whatever reason, can't safely breastfeed because of the medications that they may be taking.
Johnson offers 4 ways mothers and parents experiencing shaming can protect their peace and their mental health. First, she says, ignore it and don't respond. Consider unfollowing certain people and social media pages or people who may be doing the shaming online. Number 2, try to reject victim thinking. Remember, you know what's best for your child. Third, find your tribe. Johnson says it's important for moms and parents to surround themselves with others who are supportive and understand their struggle. Lastly, Johnson says for those making judgments, they should wait until other parents ask for their experience or opinions on baby formula and breastfeeding.
You're doing great out there. If you don't hear me say anything else, moms and parents, you are doing great out there because you're concerned about how your baby is going to get the food that it needs. And the fact that you're concerned lets us know that you're a good mom already.
Yeah, one of the big takeaways about this is you know your child. You know what's best for your child, and the best thing you can do is just ignore the noise. I am quick to press unfollow or block on social media when I see ignorance. A lot of people just aren't educated on the matter.
And let me tell you, this has been going on when people will shame somebody on social media. Sometimes they do it by portraying that they're super mom.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they got everything down. And you know, our pediatrician told us once, said, don't even look at social media when you have a newborn and you're posting things, or even a young child, because there are so many moms out there that want to portray the perfect life on social media, and they won't talk about struggles and issues and things that all of us have, and it will make you feel guilty. And so my wife took that to heart and didn't look at a lot of social media.
And consult your doctor. These people are not medical professionals. What worked for them may not work for you, so keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about this,
I bet you do.
A little period of time. First off, and I don't mind sharing this, and I'm not saying this to get people to feel bad for me, but the post that you shared, that was on my Facebook page, people shaming me for not breastfeeding. And I did a 2 cents about it. I've been open about that's not okay to do this.
No.
We're doing the best that we can. There is a reason my daughter can't be breastfed. And there's so many different reasons out there for different moms and different babies that you don't know unless you ask. So I don't think it's okay for someone to shame them. And I'm really glad that you did this story to highlight it and show the importance of it.
And even the perspective of just single dads or dad and dad relationships, that was something I hadn't even thought about. I just was like, I know I have some friends who couldn't breastfeed, the baby wouldn't latch, or they might be on a certain medication, or the baby has certain allergies, but that was something I didn't even think about.
Adoptive parents,
parents,
Oh, yeah, that's
grandparents that are raising a lot of children. And like you said, it's all about education, and I think that's our job, to shed light on these things and to educate others out there, and I feel like that will help to get some of the nonsense kind of out of there.
It's true. And don't forget, the supermom complex is a thing.
It is
It's
a
real
thing. Organic everything.
Yep.
Organic everything is not always the
Not
answer for
always
everybody.
feasible either. All right.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go ahead and change gears and get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, COVID-19 cases are rising across the U.S. again. Today, the CDC releasing an update saying a third of the population lives in areas with an elevated risk of infection. The agency says officials in those places should encourage people to take precautions like wearing masks indoors. As of May 12th, community spread risk in Guilford County is low. Another update is due out tonight at 8 o'clock. A Triad family of 7 escaped a fire thanks to smoke detectors. Early this morning, a fire destroyed their home on Meadow Drive in Winston-Salem. Firefighters say the dad woke up to a blaring smoke alarm and got everyone out. They say it took more than 30 firefighters to get the flames under control. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. The Red Cross is helping the family with accommodations and other needs. In entertainment news, soap opera fans are remembering the life of Marnie Schulenberg. She died on Tuesday at 37 years old. Schulenberg starred in As the World Turns and the One Life to Live reboot. She was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer in 2020. She is survived by her husband and their 2-year-old daughter. Schulenberg's death renews calls for knowing your family's cancer risk history. Women who carry BRCA gene mutations have a greater chance at developing breast or ovarian cancer. Testing for these mutations is available to determine what steps need to be taken, if any. Kate Hughes is a certified genetic counselor with the Navant Cancer Institute. She says genetic testing isn't recommended for everyone.
We recommend anybody that has a suspicious family history or a suspicious personal history. Is there a strong history of similar types of cancer in the family? Are there lots of women with breast cancer? Are there lots of women with ovarian cancer? Lots of men with prostate cancer?
Genetic testing can be done via blood or saliva sample. If a patient receives a positive test result, Hughes says their physician may suggest treatment options like enhanced screening. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hello, I am talking about why is it that all these people see the same thing, but no one can agree on what they saw? Isn't that
Developing now, testimony resumed today in the civil trial between actor Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard. Depp is suing Heard for libel over a 2018 op-ed she wrote in the Washington Post describing herself as a public figure representing domestic violence, domestic abuse. His lawyers say he was defamed by the article, even though it never mentioned his name. Heard claims Depp assaulted her both physically and sexually in an alcohol-fueled rage. But Depp contended that he was the victim and that he lost the tip of his middle finger when Heard threw a vodka bottle at him. The trial is currently in its 5th week. Closing arguments are expected next Friday.
The alleged abuse situation between Depp and Heard took place around several witnesses, but while there were other people around, everyone has slightly different recollections. Why is it that people seeing the same event can have differing viewpoints? Well, Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, is here to explain why. So Blanca, why is it that people have different perceptions when they see the same thing play out?
People pay attention to different details of a situation. Some people might pay attention to someone's tone of voice or the color of the car. If we're talking about a car accident, for example, or someone might focus on what was being said or how they felt at the moment. So because they're looking at it from their own viewpoint, that's what they end up remembering. It's from their personal experience, and not everyone has the same experience. That's what makes it more of a head scratcher. And some people pay more attention to facts and figures if there are any of those types of details.
So how does memory play a role in different perceptions?
Over time, we know that memory fades. Memory is not a snapshot. It is in that moment, but over time it fades. It's just like the old pictures. Over time, then the picture isn't it crisp. A long time ago, those old photos would what? They would yellow over time. So what was sharp today could be dull tomorrow when it comes to memory. So they may not remember all the details, but they get a general sense of what happened. And then when you're recalling something, it's what's going on for you in that moment, like where your memory is and what is it that you remember? What do you remember of the sight, of all your senses, what you heard and what you felt and what you saw and what you touched, all those types of things go into it.
So if everyone who saw the same situation doesn't agree on what they saw or who did what, how do we know that someone isn't lying?
Oh, isn't that the $1 million question? When people don't agree, what you have to do is you have to recreate the situation from their viewpoint. And as you're recreating, you have to ask yourself a bunch of questions. Does it make sense? Is it plausible what they're saying? Is it reasonable? Could it have happened that way? What's missing? And then why could that possibly be missing? What has happened to this person over time that perhaps they might have a motive, if you will, of why they may not remember exactly what happened, particularly if they've already talked about it in the past with a different level of detail. What has happened? Is that truly a memory issue, or could something else be going on? This is where you really have to become a detective. You have to become like Detective Columbo and just see if those puzzle pieces fit. And if they don't, why don't they fit? But here's the deal. You do not want to jump the gun and automatically assume that someone is lying. There are a lot of reasons why people have different perceptions of the same situation.
Great insight, Blanca. Thank you so much. And if you want to, you can continue this conversation with Blanca on her Facebook page. That is Blanca Cobb, body language expert. We'll have a look at your forecast when we come back after this break.
Well, let's talk about what we're seeing with temperatures, because this has been a hot day, and if you think today's hot, wait until tomorrow. Yeah, we could see warmer readings than what we're getting right now. Hard to believe when you're already looking at a 90 in High Point, 87 in Greensboro. You know, our normal high is in the upper 70s, close to 80, but this is way above that. 89 in Winston-Salem and Walnut Cove, Reedsville, same reading there, Yanceyville at 90 degrees right now. So heat, humidity in place. Then we have the approach of a cold front eventually, but today is just kind of pop up random hit or miss storms if we get them. And the chance of seeing that can go as late as say 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So don't think that once we get to 8 or 9 that we'll be in the clear yet. Just we're fairly unstable out there. And so these can pop up at any time. We do think that as we head into the overnight, we stay really mild, dropping down to 82 by 8 p.m. We think low 70s by 11. And that may be maybe upper 60s, mid 60s to upper 60s, about as cool as it would get for tomorrow morning. Maybe even a little warmer than that, depending on where you're located. Most of the showers and thunderstorms, we've seen some to the north. This line, although it's kind of weakening a little bit, but that'll be moving back over to Allegheny, Ashe, and Watauga County. It's already doing that, as a matter of fact. And the systems here, if you look at it, we see this one cold front leaving, then we're just kind of left with heat and humidity as we head into Friday and Saturday. By Sunday, the approach of this front, even though it kind of flattens out and moves a little bit to our north, will probably bring some enhanced shower opportunities for Sunday, and then we'll go back. And we're going to cool things down once we get into next week, but it may take us a little bit to get there. Let's look at that 7-day forecast for you real quick, and 93 and 92 for Friday and Saturday. We think tomorrow is fairly dry and hot. 30% chance of a late day pop-up storm on Saturday. Sunday, that's a better chance. That's 50-50 shot there. Could happen at any time depending on the timing of the front. 89 degrees. Now after that on the backside, we get some rain on Monday and a cooler high of 78, and then rain starts to taper off a bit. Tuesday, Wednesday, that is a 30% chance. High 76, 78, and we'll build back with variably cloudy skies on Thursday to 82. With those storms today, don't forget, you want to keep that free WFMY News 2 app very close. It's easy to download. You can get that from Apple Store or Google Play. We have the latest weather updates for you anytime, wherever you are. We'll be back.
In between. Serving, sacrificing, and protecting. Veterans work to keep us safe here at home, and for that we are thankful. There are more than 640,000 veterans estimated to live in our state. North Carolinians love honoring our veterans through ceremonies, parades, and other star-spangled tributes. But the pandemic put a pause on many outward displays of patriotism until now. For the first time since 2019, Veterans Appreciation Day is back in the Triad. This Saturday is Armed Forces Day, an occasion to honor our heroes from all branches of the military. The nonprofit American Heroes for North Carolina is hosting a big bash at the Carolina Field of Honor.
The ceremony starts at noon at the Carolina Field of Honor, the most beautiful private memorial, I think, in the world. We're lucky to have it right here. We invite all the veterans and their families to come out and have a great time, and the community to come out and say thank you to our veterans.
This year's theme is hiring veterans in the local workforce. So mark your calendar. Veterans Appreciation Day is this Saturday, May 21st. The place to be is Carolina Field of Honor at Triad Park in Kernersville at noon. You can expect a patriotic ceremony, music, and the chance to say thank you to our heroes.
Veterans make a difference in our lives. The protection and safety they provide affords us so many freedoms. Today, Coach Lamont shares a message about how everyone's influencing others no matter what.
One morning, a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a young boy picking something off the sand and throwing it into the sea. The man realized the child was throwing stranded starfishes back into the water. Approaching the boy, the man asked, "What are you doing?" He replied, "The starfish will die if they are still on the shore when the sun rises." Perplexed, the man said, "That's pointless. There are countless miles of beach and thousands of starfish. It doesn't matter how many you return to the water. You can't make a difference." Unfazed, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and tossed it into the sea. It matters to this one. It's true, we probably can't save everyone, but if you help just one, we can all make a difference. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, welcome back to the 4 to 5. I'm Stacey Spivey alongside Eric Chilton and Lauren Coleman.
Happy Thursday, everybody. We'll get to your top headlines in just a moment, but first, we've got a lot of talk about storms moving across the Triad. As you can see, we have a live look at our radar. It's looking pretty active. So, Eric, about what time can we expect these storms to arrive?
So it's interesting because these storms are going to kind of be with us for a little bit on and off, and probably as late as even 10 o'clock at night. And when you factor in heat and humidity, that's the problem there. Let's go ahead and talk about the temperatures across the region. And I wanted to show you kind of a broad picture here, and we're looking at the Carolinas, right? So 95 in Columbia. Now, we all know it's always hot in Columbia, that's for sure. 91 in Greenville, 87 in the Triad, Raleigh, 91. Now, the reason Boone is so cool, not just the fact that it's in the mountain communities, but they're getting some shower activity there. So that the only thing really that'll cool us down in the short term is if you get that stray storm, which we could see as late as maybe even 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So 65 degrees, stray storm, partly cloudy. Tomorrow, partly sunny. That is a hot, breezy day, and we do think that so it'll feel a little bit cooler when you factor in the breeze, but it's only southwest winds 10 to 15. It's not like it's a windy day at all, and we expect tomorrow to be fairly dry. That could be a different story by the time Sunday rolls around. Across the region, not a whole lot to see here. We'll go back up to the mountain communities. Some of these showers, once they make their way over the mountain, they'll sort of die out a little bit, but we have to watch for these. It's the type of situation where you can see a small cell move along, and then it just blows up and you get heavier showers and thunderstorms with it. So we'll keep an eye. Nothing really major happening right now, but it is something that we'll watch into the late night hours. Heat and humidity building in again for tomorrow. And if you look at our 7-day forecast, we're showing highs of 93 tomorrow, 92 Saturday. The difference, well, slight rain chance Saturday. Sunday, that's a 50-50 shot, best chance of rain until Monday, and that's 89 degrees. Monday, cooler and a little bit rainy, 60% chance and 78. And we're in the mid to upper 70s Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll dry out Thursday with a high building up to 82 degrees. And don't forget, with these storms, you want to keep our free WFMY News 2 app very close to you. Easy to download from the Apple Store or Google Play. You'll get those latest weather updates anytime, wherever you are.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for the massive U.S. support to Ukraine after 200 years of military non-alignment. Sweden has chosen a new path.
Right now, concerns are mounting in Europe as the war in Ukraine rages on. Leaders of both Finland and Sweden say they're concerned about Russian aggression, so concerned that Sweden ended its 200-year stance on military non-alignment. President Biden welcomed the Prime Minister of Sweden and President of Finland in the Rose Garden, one day after the two countries applied for NATO membership.
They meet every NATO requirement and then some. And having two new NATO members in the high north will enhance the security of our alliance and deepen our security cooperation across the board.
Sweden, along with Finland, which shares an 800-mile border with Russia, are breaking decades of neutrality and seeking to join the alliance. The country says NATO's protection has become necessary because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
That was a watershed moment for Sweden. And my government has come to the conclusion that the security of the Swedish people will be best protected within the NATO alliance.
The countries are seeking fast-track approval, but Turkey's president repeated his opposition today. Joining NATO takes unanimous approval from all current members.
We are open to discussing all the concerns Turkey may have concerning our membership in an open and constructive manner.
And President Biden is expected to quickly sign a new $40 billion military, economic, and humanitarian aid package for Ukraine after a Senate vote on the bill today. The vote was originally scheduled for Monday, but Kentucky Senator Rand Paul put a hold on the legislation, saying there should be an inspector general to oversee the spending.
Anyone concerned about the cost of supporting a Ukrainian victory should consider the much larger cost should Ukraine lose.
Wednesday night, the Senate unanimously confirmed the new U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Bridget Brink, filling a 3-year vacancy. The same evening, the U.S. once again raised its flag at the embassy in Kyiv.
So when I listen to this, and if you aren't familiar with the geography and you look at the maps and you're thinking, okay, here's Ukraine and then Finland's there, Sweden's right there. And I can see how these countries like we all have to join together. Or, I mean, I am shocked that Ukraine has held its own as much as it did, only from a size standpoint. You know, I know nothing about the military, but you just think that a smaller country doesn't have as many people to fight, but they are holding their own like nobody's business. But it worries me when other countries start getting involved. Does that mean that we're all taking sides, that the world is taking sides? That's what worries me.
It makes you kind of worry about what is next. Does this mean,
Yep.
you don't want to wish this to happen, of course, but is World War III, you know,
Right.
it makes you think about those
It
kind of
does.
things.
I mean, it's crazy to think isn't this the whole reason why they're in this situation in the first place? I remember talking to a professor who knows a lot about Russian politics, and he said the whole reason behind Russia invading Ukraine in the first place is they were worried that Ukraine was going to join NATO. That's what kind of kickstarted this. So it's like, I feel like it's kind of coming full circle almost again, because here we have Finland, which is very close, right?
Yep, it's closer, I think a little bit closer than Sweden, but they're
Yeah.
all in that line of what would happen if Russia went through Ukraine. They're concerned at that. And I had heard, I believe it was a national news outlet that had said that Ukraine is kind of the heart of Russia, because it was I think it was part of Russia at one point, and they said that's kind of where a lot of the country blossomed out of, and they want that back. But if this country doesn't want that, you can't force that, but they're trying.
Something we'll definitely be keeping
They will.
an eye on. And if you're interested in helping Ukraine refugees, we can point you in that direction. Just text DONATE to 336-379-5775, and we'll send you a link to the resources in your area. We do have that right here at the bottom of your screen. But right now, northbound University Parkway in Winston-Salem is blocked, and only one lane southbound is open after several cars were involved in a crash. Police say multiple people are injured. It's near Cherry Street and Reynolds Boulevard. All traffic is being rerouted, and police are asking you to avoid the area while they investigate. We want to get to your 4 to 5 roundup, some of your headlines there. Right now, COVID-19 cases are rising across the U.S. Again, today, the CDC released an update saying a third of the population lives in areas with an elevated risk of infection. The agency says officials in those places should encourage people to take precautions like wearing masks indoors. As of May 12, community spread risk in Guilford County is low. Another update is due out tonight at 8. Doctors say getting vaccinated even after a COVID-19 infection is linked to a decrease in long COVID symptoms. A new study published in the British Medical Journal found that those who were vaccinated with a first dose after experiencing COVID saw a 13% drop in the odds of COVID symptoms lasting months after infection. Those who received a second vaccine dose saw an additional 9% drop in the odds of long COVID as well.
Right now, preparation for one of the busiest travel weekends is underway. Memorial Day weekend is less than 10 days out, and travelers can't wait. AAA estimates more than 39 million people will drive 50 miles or more from home next weekend. That's an 8.3% increase from last year. And people are ready for a summer vacation. About 6 in 10 Americans are planning on one. When you're out of town and out of the office, the last thing on your mind is probably cybersecurity. But as we've reminded you before, criminals do not take time off. President of Trinity Solutions Incorporated, Ron Pierce, says he thinks there will be even more cyber crimes this summer, not only because of the war in Ukraine, but because of the sheer number of travelers.
That's usually when we let our guards down, is when we go on vacation. And actually that can be when we get ourselves into the most trouble.
And here's some key points Pierce says to keep in mind to keep yourself digitally safe this summer. If the place you're staying has a digital lock, ask the renter if you can choose the code. That way you're the only one who has it. If you're watching any TV, make sure that you log out of all devices before you leave. Pierce says people will forget to log out of their Netflix or Hulu accounts on TVs, especially in those kids' rooms. Treat the Wi-Fi as public Wi-Fi. Don't do anything with banking on Wi-Fi unless you're using a hotspot from your personal phone. Pay with a credit card, not debit card. Then you can dispute any fraudulent charges and cancel much easier. Lastly, be aware of hidden cameras.
There are apps on the App Store that you can just do a search for a hidden camera detector. it will download an app onto your phone and will use your phone that you can just walk around the facility, and if it senses something that's lighten up the spectrum in regard to Wi-Fi or electromagnetic, it'll post it.
Pierre says you can also turn on Bluetooth and search for devices in the room. He says a lot of those security cameras use Bluetooth and most people don't think to turn it off. We'll be right back.
Bald eagle, bald eagle, bald eagle. Baby eaglet on the way. Let's make it happen. Bald eagle, bald eagle.
Hey, right now, downtown Greensboro Incorporated getting ready to launch that summer passport program. Every year, it helps to encourage people to get out and shop with Triad businesses downtown. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey spoke with organizers about new features the community can expect. Jalen?
Yeah, Eric, the countdown has begun as we are just under 2 weeks away from the beginning of DGI's summer passport program. Starting May 30th, if you shop at any of the participating downtown businesses, you can be entered at a chance to win some big money.
This is the 6th edition, but it's gotten even better. What we can do with business owners to support them, this is a key program for us. If you spend $25, you can win $500, but even better, or win-win, is the business that you supported, that local business you were supporting anyway, they can win $500.
Jacob Raymond Custom Jewelry is one of the many participating businesses this summer. The owner says he is excited DGI is trying to draw more people to shop local.
I really like downtown Greensboro. You know, I have friends who own businesses down here, and there's just a real sense of community. When people hear like, hey, you can come down here and you buy something, you enter in this, raffle thing and you can win $500. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I want to do that.
So again, starting May 30th, you can enter into DGI's raffle and they'll give away $1,000 for the next 14 weeks.
Can I win more than once? Is
Yeah,
the big
you
question.
can. As long as you,
Okay.
They just want to encourage people to come out and spend money.
Spend money to make money. You hear that, folks?
I've seen people do it because I've seen people downtown taking pictures. You know, I know they do it different ways, different times, but you have to take a picture of this thing and post it on social media. And you see people in families over and over trying to get that money. It's so funny.
I mean, and the more receipts you have, the more entries you can put into the raffle.
Nice.
So the better chances you can win.
Go
Okay,
shopping.
how long do I have to do this?
You got 14 weeks.
Every week.
I don't know what
So
day
I
that
could
is
win
that it
14
ends.
So
Okay.
essentially, you could win $14,000 if you're that
If you're
lucky.
the luckiest
I mean,
person
in the world.
in the world.
I mean, there's a chance. It might be
never
small,
know.
but I just love this idea of bringing everybody together and getting people excited to be out and about. The weather's getting nice, so why not make some cash while you're out shopping?
I mean,
And it's also a way to get families together too,
That's
because I've
true.
noticed they make it a family thing and they bring
Yeah.
the kids and everything.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, money, people are definitely gonna go and
They're
try
moved.
to get it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Incentivized by the cash. That's right.
Very much so.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Money, 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 money.
Sing it, Lauren. Could you tell I couldn't see?
Watching the skies as we see a possibility of showers and thunderstorms moving through the area tonight and could go as late as even 10 to 11 o'clock. So just know that chance exists. Stray storm tonight, otherwise partly cloudy. Lows could be in the mid 60s, some upper 60s depending on where you're located, but 93 tomorrow. Hot, little bit of a breeze, which will help to a degree. And of course, we look for that warmer high of 93. So showers and thunderstorms, not seeing a whole lot now, but we will watch these as they come off the mountain and move into the foothill communities. At any point, we could see even a light shower like this kind of expand into more of a shower or thunderstorm. We don't expect these to be widely scattered across across the area, but the chance does exist, especially over the next several hours. All right, let's put all the systems in motion for you. High pressure to the south, clockwise flow around that means our winds will come out of that southwest direction, and that means it builds the heat and humidity. Tomorrow, fairly dry, we think, but 93, way above normal. By the time we get to Sunday, this front will actually start to move across, and Sunday into Monday, we see those rain chances going up to about 50 to 60%. But even on Saturday, we'll still keep a 30% chance of a shower in, just simply because when it gets that hot, it doesn't take much lift to get a thunderstorm popping up here or there. So tomorrow, fairly dry, but hot 93. We'll go 92 Saturday, 30% chance of a late day pop-up shower storm. Bring that up to a 50% Sunday, and highs will drop with the rain. That's 89 degrees. The showers on Monday, that's 78 and a 60% chance of rain. Rain chances drop to a normal 30%. That's for Tuesday, Wednesday. A little bit cooler though, 76 and 78. And by Thursday, building back to 82 with variably cloudy skies. Don't forget, with today's storms, you want to keep that WFMY News 2 app close to you. Of course, easy to download, whether it's the App Store or on Google Play. And then as we head into the next few days, you want to keep that handy for Sunday and into Monday as well. Totally free, and you can take it wherever you go.
The champ is back. Okay, maybe not the champ, but definitely the chomp. Twitter can't stop buzzing about Taco Bell and the return of the Mexican pizza. The dish is now available on the menu after a 2-year hiatus. Taco Bell CEO Mark King says the Mexican pizza has a long history with the fast food chain and customers have been calling for its return. The company is also joining forces with Dolly Parton and Doja Cat for a musical inspired by the Mexican pizza, debuting on TikTok later this month. Wait, is that it?
Yum, that might be dinner tonight. It should have never been taken off the menu to begin with. But a lot of people are talking about the return of the Mexican pizza online. So I asked you on my Facebook page, what menu item do you wish your favorite fast food restaurant would bring back? Rashonda McClinton says chili cheese burrito at Taco Bell. Jerlane Washburn says tender pork and gravy biscuits at McDonald's. They are so good. Sandra Burns says Chick-fil-A chicken salad sandwich. I missed that one too. Lauren Brown said them Twister wraps KFC had. Jay Sistrunk said Frito chili pie at Sonic. And then I said the snack wraps at McDonald's. And a lot of people agreed with me on that one.
I'll go Mexican pizza on this because I love that was one
That
of
was my
favorites.
favorite one.
Yes.
I feel like they did that on purpose to get people
To get
like
people
riled
talking
up
about
or
it
something
again.
like that.
I mean, look at it.
Because
It
it
makes
was
me
like one of
hungry.
their best menu
I just
items.
like wonder why it disappeared, you know?
They
Like,
just took
why?
it
That's a great
off.
question.
Put that fire sauce on that.
Yes, that's what I like on mine too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really good. I do say, I loved Sonic's salads. I thought that they had solid salads, and then they disappeared, and I was really sad about it.
Nobody's buying.
Yeah, McDonald's got rid of their
That's what I
salads
was
too
about to say.
because one time I had
Yeah.
a lunch break, I'm trying to get it right and tight, and I was like, I would like the salad, please. I said, I'd like the salad, please. They said, we got rid of those. I said, I'd like a grilled chicken sandwich. We got rid of all grilled chicken products. And I said, okay.
They're
I'll
like,
take a
no, we're
10-piece
healthy.
nugget because I need
I'm
something.
using that from now on.
She's
Right
trying to get it
I
right
like
and
that.
tight.
I like that.
Get in
If
there
I had
right and
anything I'd
tight.
pick, I would have to agree with one of our viewers. I'd have to go with the chicken salad at
That
chicken
was
salad
good.
sandwich
Yes.
from Chick-fil-A.
I don't think I ever
That
had
was
that.
one of
That's
my
a good
favorites.
variation. It's something different that you can get because, you know, I go to Chick-fil-A, you either get the sandwich, you're going to get nuggets or tenders, right? But then
Yeah.
they had the grilled, they had the chicken salad, which is, you know, gives you something different. It's kind of the same concept, but a little mix it up a little bit, you know?
So I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. You know, the McRib is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about when that comes back.
Very.
I'm gonna tell you, I've never had one.
I haven't
And
either.
I wanna
I've never
try
had
it.
one either. I think Chad Silver likes those, right?
He
Chad
does.
Silver
He
loves
can't believe
the
I've never
McRibs.
had one.
Oh, he's in here right now.
They are? I've got to try that.
I've never had
Don't do
one.
it, brother.
I think
I
it's
don't
weird
like
to
it.
get ribs
Yeah.
from fast food.
I
So,
love
like,
barbecue.
Yeah, so you can't.
He's
do
like,
a
I
McRib.
don't, I'm not going to eat a McRib. It's not
I
gonna
mean, I've
happen.
never had a Big Mac.
I've never
What?
had a Big Mac
Really?
either.
Yeah,
I've never had
Lauren
one.
hasn't either.
Mm-mm. I usually get like the chicken
getting weird.
products or the fish products when I go to McDonald's. But
Jalen said McNo.
why are you looking at me like that?
How have you never?
I've just never
What?
had
We gotta
one.
go,
How
I
about
guess.
you buy me one for lunch tomorrow and
That'll
I'll
work.
try it.
Oh, I'm off
I'll
tomorrow.
get you a Mexican pizza.
We'll be right back. Drop the mic.
Not McDonald's for breakfast.
Wait, why would you say fried chicken?
I had talked about how good fried chicken was on here.
Hey, mic check. Hello, you got me? 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas.
Stop saying you like fried chicken. I told her to say
Mic check.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Mic check, 1, 2. No.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think so.
Every week around this time, I start thinking about topics to talk about for my 2 cents. Sometimes it's easy to come up with something, other times it's more difficult. I will often think about something that's annoyed me lately or a controversial topic to dive into. As a journalist, this is really the only appropriate opportunity I have to share my thoughts or feelings during a newscast. As I was thinking of a topic this week, I kept coming back to all the fun things I've got planned this spring and summer. A beach trip for Memorial Day weekend, a trip to the Ozarks to celebrate 3 friends' birthdays, and a trip home over the 4th to see my family and that cute little niece of mine. They've all been planned for a while, and time seems to crawl the more that I think about these fun trips. Does that happen to you too? For me, sometimes the anticipation of doing fun things is just as exciting as the fun things themselves because I have something to look forward to. But there's also a fine line between anticipation and overlooking all the good things happening right now. So while I look forward to the big things down the road, I'm also trying to find the smaller blessings along the way. That's just my 2 cents, and your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Clouds are building across High Point as we watch for storms.
Everyone also needs to be ready as this hot weather continues.
You will notice the QR code at the bottom of your screen there. If you point your smart